Today we're going to be breaking down specific areas and talking about if you should make an investment into them, starting off with the Austin Major. Now this is definitely going to be one of the most prominent potential investments right now, considering you've got such a cheap threshold to get into it. We're talking about a 25-cent capsule, which cannot go down theoretically. Obviously we've seen pairs, they do go down sometimes, but a lot of the time they have shown to be relatively decent investments if we look over the history of this game. The biggest problem I run into is if we want to look at the recent majors that have happened, the majority of them definitely do struggle, and there's very few capsules that have ended up being super profitable without a long time waiting, and therefore I don't know necessarily if it's going to be the best investment to make. If you want to look at the data, Austin is definitely one that seems very in between on what we're seeing right now, and overall Austin definitely has some risks that I don't think a lot of people really take into consideration here. In my personal opinion, I would highly suggest avoiding the souvenir packages. I don't really think that, honestly, just because we see this highlight souvenir, it's going to be making any major difference. They're probably going to be back for the next majors as well, and overall, if we're talking about the capsules, there is definitely a long time this sale is going to be going on for, so I would not make an investment today. If you do want to make an investment into Austin, there is that potential down the line. I think honestly some of these capsules will probably end up being pretty decent, but I would highly suggest you wait, you hold off, and you see all the data that comes in, and make sure you know exactly what you're investing into. Skinland is today's sponsor, and if you're looking to sell your CS2 skins, they are the #1 spot. Now with Valve's latest update, you have to wait 7 days to go ahead and get your money, but with Skinland, you're going to be able to get the best rate possible with a $10 free bonus on your first trade. Now don't forget to use code MasterShiny for that bonus, and the best part about this is they are one of the first to bring this back, and they are the most safe option to sell your CS2 skins for cash. They've also got a massive marketplace if you're looking to pick up some CS2 skins as well, significantly cheaper than the Steam market. I sell on Skinland for the best rate, so don't wait. Now getting to the specific area that inspired this video, it's going to be the Armory collections, specifically the sticker collections to start out. Obviously these sticker collections have been around for a fair bit, and some of them have gotten extremely cheap. We're talking about maybe 5 to 10 cents for some of these blue stickers on these collections, which is extremely cheap and has extremely high upside, especially if they do get removed. First up, I want to make it very clear, these stickers are very unlikely to move in price unless the Armory changes out and these sticker collections do get removed. With that being said, they have a lot of potential behind them right now if they do get removed. A lot of them have very high application rates, which we can see right here is a really good sign of demand. The fact that the unboxing ROI is over 100% for both of these shows that even with this high demand, there is not a ton of supply that's coming in. It's profitable for you to spend your stars opening these up, and that's because obviously stars take time to get, and therefore we're in the situation right now where these are some pretty valuable stickers, relatively speaking. Even if they only are 10 cents a piece, it's not a bad position to honestly look at. You got to remember though that at the end of the day, you're really betting on these items getting removed or some change happening for you to make significant profit inside of this area. But if you're looking to invest into something Armory related, I would definitely check out this area. The application demand definitely shows these stickers are ones that people really want, and especially long term, it's not going to instantly fall off. Now talking about our Armory collections here, there's a lot to break down. First up, we've got 4. We've got the Sport and Field, we've got the Graphic Design, we've got the Overpass, and we've got the Train 2025. And the most instant comparison we're going to be making to these is to previous operations. Obviously, operations were significantly different, but they were significantly profitable, and that's what a lot of people are really going to want to look at, is how much money you could have made with those skins. But there's one major problem here, that's going to be the difference in rarity. Look at one of these previous operation collections versus one of these Armory collections right now. You'll see an instant difference that there is a gray skin in these operation collections. Doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal until you realize your odds of getting a red previously were about 1 in 3,900 versus now it's 1 in 780. That's a huge difference that's going to impact every single level of these when it comes to investments, because it's going to make trade-ups less profitable, trade-ups less risky. Overall, it just comes to a situation where there's a lot more skins at higher tiers for some of these newer Armory collections. Now that doesn't specifically make these bad investments per se. We once again run into the predicament of we need them to get removed for us to see some major profit, but we also run into a situation where your red is actually extremely affordable for some of these collections. We're talking just a couple $100s, you can get the top tier covert skin, which is significantly different than all of our previous operation collections. Overall, when we're talking about this, or even the gallery or fever cases, we run into the situation we mentioned earlier. We need them to get removed to see some actual profit happen inside of this area, and with this specifically, it's a little bit more risky just because we don't have that gray skin. We don't know what the demand is going to be once these items get removed, and therefore it's definitely a little bit more risky than I think a lot of people want to realize inside of this area. Now talking about our major items, there is a lot. Once again, obviously we've got the Renegades Hollow, which is the newest one to make a significant splash in the pot when we're talking about these crazy run-ups in price. You got your Evil Geniuses, which is somehow sustaining this price, and that has led our Legends capsule to be over $5 $2. Now, the most expensive Stockholm capsule out there, it's probably going to drop down in price by the time you're watching this video because it's fluctuating so much, but this is absolutely insane, and therefore I would highly suggest you did not make any new investments into this area. This is an area of pure hype right now, and honestly that goes for the rest of the major capsule market as well. In my personal opinion, if you're not buying them at 25 cents or shortly after, right now it doesn't seem like it's a very smart opportunity to get into it. It's in the hype, it's in the most demanded phase right now, and that's probably going to be falling off relatively soon or relatively fast, one of the two, what we've seen previously. And overall, it's a very risky area that not a lot of people really realize the risk, and there's a lot better opportunities for your money, even if they don't seem like it right now, in my personal opinion. Now, talking about unique opportunity areas, these are definitely a very strong incentive right now. We're going to be talking about our filler skins, we're going to be talking about our agents. Any investment that's not 100% mainstream, I would say falls into this area, as long as it is deep down, probably a pretty strong investment. Obviously, filler skins are one that I am very bullish on long term, especially when we're talking about our light blue from the train collection. These ones are in a position right now where I think they are very solid, and if we want to look at the price points, they've gotten to a point where they are stagnating out, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. They shot up in price very quickly. This is something we expect to see, especially for an investment like this, which is going to be having a lot of hype in the beginning, and then it's got to get to a point where it can actually sustain a price increase because of the demand coming in. Otherwise, we've got something like our agent market, which is definitely a little bit more questionable in my personal opinion, just because I really like to go for items that are consumable. The agent market is one that's a little bit more resting on overall demand and the overall player count. There's a lot of influences that have for the agent market, but really your agents are never going to be destroyed, so there needs to be a growing opportunity for them, or at least them growing in price because people want them. Overall, the agents aren't a bad area. They're not my favorite, but I definitely would suggest if you can find some unique opportunity areas or hidden gem investments, as I've previously called them, they are the best area to look into, especially if you can find something that not a lot of people are really invested into already. And then I'll keep it short and sweet, but you know I love my rare cases. I would highly suggest if you're trying to make your rare case investment, check out the unboxing numbers. Make sure the case you're looking at is one that's actually in demand rather than one that's just existing inside of the current market. There's a lot of great opportunities here, and the prices on them have been looking a little bit better day by day in terms of a buying opportunity. They're going down very slightly. That's just because the hype right now isn't necessarily in this area. There's still a great opportunity, and one of my favorite areas to look at when we're seeing the overall market, and the fact that the market cap has just reached a brand new high and the cases aren't even really doing that, is a great sign of what's to come. Now, if you want my personal opinion on what the best investment is right now, rare cases are always going to be my favorite. I think they're a very solid and great outlook for most people. I would definitely check out some hidden gem investments if you have the opportunity to, because they are one of my favorites and they can really rack up some easy profit. Otherwise, if you want to wait it out, Armory collections and Armory stickers are a great opportunity if you got the time and you want the risk tolerance. That's all I got with you so much. Have a great rest of your day.